Patriots adding the gold to their uniforms this year. It's become an official gold color. Wayne Hill's now in almost a Florida State Seminole looking, the maroon jerseys and gold pants. They used to go with a gold and white, and I love the sharpness of the Ramapo and the white with a green trim, coach. It's just, in this day and age where all these teams want to wear dark color on dark color, and I just love to see the old white uniform.
The teal blue, we had a little bit too much of that, I think, over the last decade, too.
These two teams coming in here to decide the NBIL Division I championship, and of course the top seed in Section 1 Group 3. And you look at Ramapo, Mike Mielo in his 22nd year, played under Tom Delatorre at Hackensack High School, and has just been a giant in the coaching ranks. And it's interesting because he's very friendly with Chris Olson, the veteran coach at Wayne Hills. The two guys will go out to dinner, spend a lot of time. They're fierce competitors in terms of preparing for a game like this, a season like this. Yep, they want to crush the Patriots if you're a Roadrunner fan, especially if you're a Green Raider fan. Our captain's meeting with the officials at midfield, and while we have a chance, look at the officiating crew, headed by Steve Turner, the referee. The umpire is Pete Amoruso. Al Kirchine, the line judge. Michael Corcoran, the back judge. Pete DeFranco is the linesman. And the clock operator, the venerable Bill Librera. I sounded venerable because Bill Librera's son, Bill Librera Jr., used to be the superintendent at Montclair High, know him well, and his grandson played basketball at West Morris. The coin toss.
What we got is Ramapo has won the toss.
Ramapo has won the toss.
I think they deferred.
As you see the captains from both teams, and the Green Raiders will receive, coach. And we are near kickoff, and everybody getting excited about this one. The Patriot, everyone in the ballpark, they're talking upwards to 4,000 or 5,000 people here, maybe more tonight. And coach, I'm glad they brought out the extra Porta Johns, the extra snack bar. I mean, all the coffee we've been drinking today.
You see the smoke hovering over the field here? I don't know if we can catch it on the camera. It has a wonderful aroma from the concession stand. There's that steak smell to it.
And Chris Olson, in his 14th season here at the helm, coached previously at Bergenfield and Patterson Eastside. Coached the great Ricardo McDonald. Ricardo, who played in the NFL with the Cincinnati Bengals at Eastside. Chris Olson worked with Lean On Me Joe Clark, the principal at Patterson Eastside. Remember in the film with Morgan Freeman, the same name. Chris Olson.
More of a baseball thing, though, wouldn't you say? With the
very youthful Chris Olson. Late 40s, and has coached already at 3 different high schools as a head coach. He also coached at Passaic, where Craig Ironhead Hayward played. Well, we're set to kick off. Rick Pignatello will do the duties. Deep are Josh Walkowitz and Jeff Miller. Want to welcome our MSG Tri-State Game of the Week audience here for the showdown in the NBIL, and we are underway. It's a short kick. Taken by Anzano. Anzano across the 25 to the 26-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Ramapo. And let's look at the Ramapo offense. Steve Sclafani, the fullback. Chris Scarpelli, over 1,000 yards. The tailback, Nick Mazzadri. The quarterback, Ryan Watson, the big tight end. Jeff Miller, we have him highlighted. 21 receptions already this year at split end. And Chris Anzano, you saw him on the return there, the flanker. The lineman up front, Carbone, Thomas, Dini, Costanzo, a converted tight end, and Carson Parmalee. 1st and 10. Mazzadri, quick drop and complete to Miller on the far side, and he's brought down after a pickup of about 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 5. And let's look at the Wayne Hills defense. Wayne Hills in the 4-3 alignment. Ryan Neal, David Ure, a very quick defensive tackle. Highlighting him there, Mike Grenz. Chris Hannenberg, a junior, doing a good job at the other end, opposite the great Ryan Neal. Fisnik Malici, watch him at inside linebacker. Wells, Marquez back from a knee injury. Altadoca, Palladino, Monin, and Monahan round out the secondary. 2nd down and 5. Scarpelli stopped. Dropped by who else but Mr. Ryan Neal, coach. Quick penetration by the man who likes to make tackles behind the line of scrimmage. He does it often.
Well, that first play selection where there was a quick comeback pass to the wideout is in keeping with Mielo's prediction for what he needs to do to keep the defense out of the box. Here's the second play we just saw. Fullback leads through. Not much there. Lanes closed down very quickly.
Well, we'll call it 3rd and 6. Mazzadri again on the far side, looking for Miller, overthrowing him. So quick 3 and out for the Green Raiders.
David Ura just came flying in from his defensive tackle position. He already had 29 tackles coming in. He just added 1 to his roster.
Nick Mazzadri will punt. The quarterback will drop back. Ryan Watson, the long snapper, who's already committed to Duke University. Ryan Watson, their two-way end, who triples as a long snapper. And deep for Wayne Hills will be Pat Monahan and Rick Pignatello, standing around the 33-yard line.
It's going to be the little things tonight that may add up, make the difference between winning and losing. Good snap on this punt, a good decent punt, good punt coverage. Special teams being 1/3 of the game. Very important this evening in particular.
So our first punt on 4th down. Mazzadri with a slight bobble, a great rush. That ball might have been partially deflected as it rolls dead around midfield in Wayne Hills territory, but 22-yard punt, coach, and they were lucky to get that off.
They certainly were, and that's what I'm saying. That's the kind of thing that'll trip you up. Those are the mistakes you can't make. I kind of thought he was a little bit tight, the punter was. Look, he's only about, I guess he's about 12 yards back. Somehow from where I looked like he was closer to 10. They're coming from the wide side. Look at the way he extends his body. Now, the difference there is coaches teach their players to cross their wrists so the ball can't slip through, as it did in that case.
We'll check the Wayne Hills lineup after this play. Hand off to Williams, spinning and stopped. Oh, a great penetration by the Green Raiders. Coming up and making a stop, Chris Anzano from the secondary, number 8. Let's look at the starting offense for Wayne Hills. Yanal Altadoka, the fullback. Brian Williams approaching 1,000 yards, the tailback. Chris Olson and his brother, the quarterback and tight end. Pat Monahan at split end, and Bill Monin is the other split end. Mike Grenz, David Ura, Sammy Weinstein. Chris Olson, the coach, says Sammy Weinstein was made to be a center. Ryan Neal and Ziggy Gorin, love that name, was the tackle. 2nd and 9. Play action, Olson near side, completing. Altadoka with a big pickup for Wayne Hills. Nice pass, Altadoka, the fullback, out of the backfield, and Chris Olson, the coach, loves to go to Altadoka, the fullback coach, and that time it worked with precision.
And the reason why it works that time is because of the waggle action of the quarterback. Watch him take the snap, go 180 degrees. Now the linebackers have to freeze at that instance to respect the run, and that frees that fullback just to get into the flats a little bit quicker than he might have without the waggle action.
20-yard pickup, ball at the 32 of Ramapo. Brian Williams, again, good job up front by the Green Raiders. Brian Deeney and company, Ryan Watson helping with the stop. Let's look at the defensive units for the Green Raiders. Ryan Watson, Duke University bound at end. Brian Deeney, Jim Ishkani, and Taylor Thomas is the other end. The linebackers in secondary, Costanzo, Sclafani, Pickens, one of the best trios in all of New Jersey. Miller, Mazzadri, Scarpelli, and Anzano, who Coach Mike Niello calls the best cover guy he's ever had. Olson play action, underthrowing with a great rush that time. Had to hurry it off, incomplete underthrowing Altadoka. And Coach, that time we've seen Ramapo, good penetration. That time they could put pressure on Olson.
Yeah, Steve Scalafani coming up from his linebacker spot that time, doing a nice job of putting a little pressure on the quarterback. That's the kind of thing you want to do. He may be a great quarterback with a lot of experience, but he's still a junior, and if you can force him into a bad decision, that'll help down the line.
Ball at the 30 on 3rd and 9, so a big early play here for the Patriots of Wayne Hills. Play action, Olson this time with plenty of time. Airing it out deep, he's there, and he's got it in the end zone for the touchdown. Bill Monin on the receiving end, a 30-yard scoring strike, and Wayne Hills is on the board.
Now the coverage wasn't too bad. We're going to watch the extra point and come back to this play and replay. The coverage wasn't that bad, but there was one instance where he seemed to have lost sight of the receiver, spun himself around and got himself just slightly out of position, but you're going to see some decent coverage.
Sebastian Marquez, coming off a knee injury, will attempt the extra point.
7-0.
And we got a 7-0 game early on. Wayne Hills with assertion here with 9:05 to go in the first quarter.
Now watch the cornerback, Chris Anzano. He's on the man coverage on this. You got the play action just to freeze the linebackers a little bit. Look at this setup of his hands to the ear hole. He lets it roll. The receiver's on a complete up and out. Now, he's in good position, but just got slightly turned around, and really that was pretty good defense. And the receiver did a fine job of keeping his eye on the ball, keeping focused, and coming up with it.
Take it, please.
And they're getting excited for the scoring drive. 5 plays, 52 yards, only a minute 39. Bill Monin with his 4th TD reception of the year.
Now let's go back to that punting situation, Steve. Had that ball been punted away a little bit further, less than the 22 yards that it was, or more than the 22 yards, I should say, perhaps they wouldn't have gotten the ball in such great field position, and perhaps that fade wouldn't have worked the way it did. Little things in a game like this are going to add up.
So Anzano will be back along with Walkowitz. Wayne Hills with the early lead. Pignatello to kick off for the 2nd time already with 9:05 to go here in the first quarter. This is a longer kick than the last one. Anzano at his 11th. And Anzano rolls forward to the 27-yard line. Olson on that last drive for Wayne Hills, 2 for 3 for 50 yards and a touchdown, but Nick Mazzaggi will try to answer for Ramapo.
The offensive series after a touchdown is always very big. It's just like playing defense on baseball. I've used the analogy before. It's like playing defense on baseball after you've scored the go-ahead run.
Ball at the 27-yard line, 1st and 10. Mazzaggi sending Anzano further wide out. 3-step drop, firing out, and underthrowing, incomplete. Anzano probably heard footsteps perhaps from Joey Palladino, number 5, coming up defending.
That's a timing pattern. That's a 3-step drop back. Receiver's going to drive the cornerback off the ball and then come back to the football, and he may have not timed it correctly. He has to take the same number of steps every single time. And it wasn't as if the ball was underthrown so much as he drove off the cornerback a little bit, few too many steps more than he should have.
And Coach, you talk about classic football early on. Field position right now. Wayne Hills has been spending this whole quarter so far in Ramapo territory. 2nd down, handoff. Scarpelli dragged down. Coming in was David Yura, number 55, a 6'1", 215-pound senior defensive tackle. Yura is very quick, a baseball pitcher, a finesse player, his 30th tackle of the year. 6 he's had for loss. And this is going to set up a 3rd down and 11 call.
Yura being an impact player so far. He had a great defensive series the last time Wayne Hills was on the field. Getting right into the quarterback's face, coming up through the A-gap.
8:20 clock moving, first quarter. Want to welcome our audience on the MSG Tri-State Game of the Week. Steve Tober, David Weinberg from Wayne Hills. Anzano in motion. Mazzaggi and picked off. Monahan with the pick. Pat Monahan coming up with his 3rd interception of the season and coached the momentum all with the Patriots.
Well, like we said coming in, Mike Migliello was talking about how he has to loosen the defensive box up, and the way to do that is to stretch the field with those little outs. This is just great coverage. The cornerback's supposed to funnel anyway, and he just steps in front of the ball in a great sense of timing.
Great concentration too, Coach, on that.
He'd be able to hold on to it, right?
Intended there for Miller, his favorite receiver, but Wayne Hills with a turnover.
As I said, Wayne Hills plays tough defense after they score. That's very big.
Ryan Williams, good job by Ryan Watson to bring him down. Maybe a half a yard on the play. And
they have to keep going to Williams in order to keep the secondary honest. They don't want Ramapo to come up themselves and crowd the box, put 7, 8, 9 guys in the box defensively also. So they got to make sure that they establish a little bit of a run so that they're not in Olson's face all the time.
This Ryan Watson, some football player, Coach. You saw him there. He's really can string things out, contain it.
Well, his rule of thumb is he's never supposed to let a maroon jersey outside of his shoulder, ever, ever. No other opposite jersey color is supposed to be outside of his shoulder.
2nd down and 10. Williams, this time
there
with
he
some
is
positive
again.
Yardage.
Oh, what a great job he did that time again, Steve.
Yeah, he came down. Coach
He
made the
fought
stop
up,
along
right.
with
He caught up a
Sclafani.
couple of blockers, kept himself parallel to the line of scrimmage, and then closed the gap between himself and the defensive tackle to make the tackle.
So it'll be 3rd and 7. Ball at the 38-yard line of Ramapo. Brian Williams, there you see it. He's close to that 1,000-yard mark now for the season. Picked up 3 yards in that play, 21 touchdowns rushing. State's leading scorer, 22 overall, just a junior.
He's caught a few passes himself as well, too. Coming in tonight, he had 3 passes for about 59 yards.
You talk about people like James Milan, A.J. Spicer last year, some great running backs at Wayne Hills. They have the balance, though, this year with Chris Olson Jr. at quarterback. We'll see what the junior is going to come up with something here on 3rd and 7.
Well, the old cliche, the run complements the pass complements the run.
Monahan in motion. Pitch to Williams. Williams got the first down and more. Brian Williams down near the 20-yard line.
Well, the tight end Greg Olson can be credited for that because he does a great job of hooking the defensive end, unlike Watson, who wasn't hooked the last time. His counterpart on the right-hand side was hooked. Watch the way that number 4, look at that number, Greg Olson. How he ties up the defensive end, just give Williams enough chance to get to the corner. Williams doing a nice job of keeping the ball on the outside away from the tacklers.
And it's nice, Coach, to have a fullback like Yanal Altadoka, who Chris Olson calls his best all-around player, number 24. One of the captains, fullback, linebacker, and a young man of Albanian descent. And he does a nice job as a blocking back. Sometimes those blocking backs are overshadowed by great runners like number 36, Brian Williams. And just a great job. Now we see at Wayne Hills has been to the state playoffs in 9 of the last 13 years, including 4 finals. In fact, they've been to 3 finals in a row, but no titles yet, Coach. They want that title in 2000.
Well, most of us in the profession would be grateful to be in that position, but of course, Wayne Hills and Ramapo have raised the bar to such an extent that that's just not good enough for them.
So far, 73 yards for Wayne Hills of offense, only 3 for Ramapo early on in this ball game. 6:38 to go here in the first quarter. Already 7-0 Wayne Hills. Ball to 21. Play action, Olson. Chris throwing, completed. Oh, what a catch by Monahan. Inside the 5, down to the 2, and what hands by number 3, Pat Monahan.
What you could see there, though, is the poise of Chris Olson. A couple of times that was the waggle action again that was successful in that first series we saw. He was looking for the fullback, Yanel, who we just spoke about. Watch how he's going to play action, reverse, come off his hip. Now number 24 is slipping into the flats, which is where he wanted to go to his primary. But look at the poise. He holds on to the ball, keeps the ball in a good throwing position. Good soft hands, the back of the ball. And of course, yards after contact. Just look at the poise here. How he holds on just long enough and whack on a rope.
Well, Chris
Tight
Olson,
spiral.
Coach, he knows how important all these scores can be. Wayne Hill's looking for a second one. The Patriots looking to go up, increase their lead from 7-0. Another timeout here by the Wayne Hills Patriots. And Chris Olson thinking, hey, we want to put the killer punch in early.
Well, this would be a great opportunity for Wayne Hills, of course, and Ramapo has to stop the bleeding here and tighten up on this goal line stand. The Wayne Hills offense is going to have 4 cracks at going 3 yards.
Wayne Hills has reached the state playoff final each of the last 3 years. Lost to North Bergen in '97 in Group 4 and Hoboken the last 2 years in Group 3. 27-7 last year at Giant Stadium, although Hoboken this year is a Group 2.
Wayne Hills is averaging 10 yards a play. That's first down each time.
First and goal for the Patriots at the 3-yard line.
Watch Williams here.
Williams stopped Pickens with good penetration.
Ooh.
Diving forward, though.
Oh, look at the yards after contact.
Effort. Oh, what great second effort by
Sure.
Williams that he was stopped initially by Pickens, Watson, and company.
That's the kind of stuff that those college scouts look for. Is he driving his legs after they wrap him? Are they going to be able to take him down one at a time? Great yards after contact.
Williams, 6 carries, 25 yards. The junior, 6'1", 195 pounds, really coming on. Taking over for A.J. Spicer, who graduated off last year's club, and 7 yards a carry, which is really quite an average for Williams. Olson up the middle, look at end zone. We'll see how close he is. And they say a touchdown. Olsen in. Took a little time for the referee to make that call, but the Patriots up 13-0 with 5:31 to go here in the first quarter.
Official have to separate the pile and find out where the ball is. Again, this is off a mistake, or if you want to look at it from the other point of view, great defense.
Sebastian Marquez on for the extra point. Monahan to hold. And the kick is up. And it is good, so it's 14-0 Wayne Hills.
Not something Ramapo is used to doing, fighting uphill. This is just a question of great line surge, particularly between the two guards in the center. And the big Olsen just using that leg drive. You know, Olsen's a big boy.
And this drive set up, 41 yards, 6 plays, 229 by Pat Monahan's interception. Monahan with his third pick, coach, and so far a good rush on the punt play to set up the first score in terms of getting good field position around midfield, and this time the Monahan pick.
Yeah, the great interception. Wayne Hill's keeping their poise and coming up with the big play, and that's what you need in a big game. You need somebody to come up with a big play. These are more points scored against Ramapo than all of their other games combined.
That's right. They've given up 12 points in the first 7 games, only 1 touchdown. Pignatello kicking off. Jankowicz drops it, and great coverage by Wayne Hills, and he is corralled around the 21-yard line. Where's Josh Walkowitz? So field position continues to be with the Patriots. Possessions for Ramapo from their own 26, their own 27, and now their own 22, their third possession. So field position clearly in favor of Wayne Hills.
Well, this is a very important offensive series. Sounds repetitious, but it's true. Wayne Hills with great defense. It's going to be awfully hard to climb back if you don't put something together early.
Double wides at the near side, but they're going to go up the middle with Scarpelli, who breaks off and picks up about 4 yards around the left side. Chris Scarpelli, young man who works extremely hard, a workhorse. He's worked at Bill Parisi's training facility up there in Bergen County, and really has become the next great tailback at Ramapo, following in the footsteps of Boston College's Greg Toll and others. And a great tradition under Mike Mielo, Green Raider country.
2nd and 7 Green Raiders.
2nd and 7. Scarpelli stopped this time. Good job there by the linebacker Sebastian Marquez, number 41, coming back off a knee injury. David Adamo had been filling in. 4:19 to go first quarter. Glad you can be with us here on Cablevision and the MSG Tri-State Game of the Week. Steve Tober, David Weinberg, Jimmy Cavallo, and statistician Bill Bromberg on a gorgeous night here in Wayne. And the Patriots in command early, 14-0.
And Ramapo does not want to find themselves in 3rd and long that often. Not against a defense that's only given up 8 points.
3rd and 6, and overthrowing Anzano was Mazzadri with good pressure that time.
There's David Ura again, putting the heat on.
Dave Ura very quick as a defensive tackle slot, and again, Green Raiders have to punt the ball away.
Well, he seems to own the inside gap between the right guard and center of Ramapo. They're going to have to fix that up somehow.
I remember Mazzadri had a little problem getting off the last punt with a slight bobble. Was partially deflected. See what kind of a kick he gets here. Good snap. It's off. Short spiral. Good field position. Fumble on the play. Pickens around the ball for Ramapo, and the Green Raiders got it back. Johnny Pickens very alert.
Pat Monahan should have stopped his feet, caught the ball, and then run. He tried to do it on the run. It fell through the breadbasket onto his knees, and he just kicked it away from himself. Got to catch the ball first.
What a player Johnny Pickens is, huh? Northwestern, Wake Forest, Duke have already offered.
Now watch, he doesn't set his feet. He's on the move, and that's tough to do, especially when that ball's coming end over end, or rather in a tight spiral there it was. End over end makes it a little bit easier.
Well, the special teams for Ramapo doing the job there. on coverage for the fumble recovery. 1st and 10, maybe a yard.
Little old signs of the old wing counter trap.
That time Ramapo trying to get something out of Andrew Recchione coming in for a carry. Andrew, a 5'10", 175-pound sophomore. Recchione coming in for Sclafani at fullback. So it'll be 2nd and 9, ball at the 46-yard line. Best field position for Ramapo. 3:14 to go here in the first quarter.
Only 9 yards for the Ramapo offense so far of their 10 plays that they've run.
Mazzadri under pressure from Neal, completes it.
Absolutely.
To
That
Miller.
flag, Ryan Neal got a little bit too enthusiastic there, roughing the passer without question.
And it'll be a 1st down anyway on the completion, but then they take the penalty, as they will, as indicated there.
That ball was clearly away, and the official was watching, and he thought about it for a second, then pulled the trigger.
Steve Turner, the official.
Roughing the passer, defense, 1st down.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. In your living room there with a call on the play. So great field position here for Ramapo as the ball on the roughing the passer play goes to the 31 of Wayne Hills.
That's only their first down of the game. That's pretty amazing for Ramapo.
So maybe these are the breaks the Green Raiders need. Still very early in this game. 2:35 to go first quarter, 14-0 Wayne Hills. Mazzadri, good time. What a nice catch by Anzano, all the way down to the 12-yard line. Chris Anzano on the receiving end. He's the flanker, doing a nice job.
Quarterback does a nice job of waiting for the receiver to clear through the secondary. Watch the left side. He's going to hold that ball ever so slightly, and when we see the completion, what he's waiting is he's waiting for the receiver to run past the cornerback, who's funneling to the safety, and right in between the exchange with great soft hands. Look at that vertical leap, catching the back of the ball. Look at that, terrific.
20 yards on the play.
Great
1st and 10
athleticism.
at the 12-yard line for the Green Raiders. The pitch, Anzano. Oh, Mr. Neal, Ryan Neal. You don't get around him too easily. As Chris Olsen says, you run at him, he gets you, you run away, he'll chase you down, and that time, Ryan Neal.
Again, the discipline of not turning his right shoulder in, looking for the dive, but rather keeping his shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage, keeping his legs going underneath him, and moving laterally on what we call the feather move.
Well, a loss of 2 yards on the play, ball back at the 15. 2nd and 12. Pickens, I mentioned he doesn't play that much offense. Pickens is in the game as a receiver for Ramapo, the star linebacker.
Neal loves the tight end here.
Mazzadri with tons of time, going deep. Watson, he's got it for the touchdown. Oh, what a nice catch by Ryan Watson for 6.
That's the tight end. Whenever they get inside that 30-yard line, we saw it last year. I've seen it in the clinics from Mike Mielo. The tight end is a lost art, but Coach Mielo, of course, uses him very well. Here we see evidence of that. You can almost see that one coming, Steve.
58 seconds left in the first quarter, and Ramapo trying to cut the lead in half. Ricky Krautman, the sophomore, on for the extra point attempt.
Look for the fake here, some sort of a gimmick play, perhaps for the 2.
I don't know, Coach. Krautman is almost automatic on the placements. And it is up, and it is good. 14-7, Ramapo. After the fumble recovery by Pickens on the punt return, they've capitalized with a TD drop.
That's what 7-0 teams, playoff state-bound teams do. They take mistakes and they turn it into something positive. Here's that tight end. Now, generally, he likes to run the seam pass with his tight end, does Mielo, but this time he just does them on a crossing pattern. Look at that nice catch, soft hands again, covering the ball up. Not much heat. Good job by the Ramapo offense, tight spiral, and he's got great position on the defender.
Did he lead the receiver perfectly or what?
It's great. It's just great athleticism, and that's why we're watching two 7-0 teams.
Well, Mike Miello and company right back in this ball game. 58 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Hey, it's early now. We got plenty of football for you here. 5 plays, 55 yards, 249. Ricky Krautman kicking off, one of the outstanding kickers in all of New Jersey. Pat Monahan, Rick Pignatello are the deep men for Wayne Hills.
Got to get a good kickoff on this.
Short low kick. Monahan. Monahan is in 2000.
And as a junior. I mean, you got to love it, which means there's another year left. Although, I mentioned it before, if he misbehaves around the house, does his father make him run a lap? I mean, how does that work?
Is he sick big brother, little brother, I say little brother, Greg Olson, the sophomore, 6'5", 215 at tight end.
That's the little guy.
3rd and 9. Olson under pressure, dumps it off. Does a nice job just to get rid of it. Throwing it incomplete. 4 seconds left in the quarter. Nobody open. Grounded that ball. Set up a punting situation for Wayne Hills. And the big momentum now has switched a little bit.
Yeah, you can feel it. Ryan Neal's out there, though, just knocking everybody down. Doesn't matter. As long as they're wearing white, he's knocking them down. Just a great job of keeping himself in the mix. This is their first punt, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Jeff Miller, Chris Anzano are deep on 4th and 8. Bill Monin will punt.
Ramapo not looking to put pressure on here. Looks like the
drops
return.
it.
Ooh.
Monin picks it up, and they're all over him. Now here's another break for the Green Raiders on special teams. A botched punt attempt by Wayne Hills, and here come the Green Raiders again.
And Ramapo, as I started to say, looked like they were about to put the return on because they did not have enough guys up in the box. But of course, they slipped through nicely.
And that'll do it.
Watch, there's only 4 guys in the box, but the offensive line, the punting team's got to keep their assignments, and of course he drops the ball, which doesn't help either.
Well, that completes one period. Special teams playing a key. Wayne Hills holding a 14-7 lead, and we'll be back with more right after this. We're back at Wayne Hills High School. Exciting action here from the NBIL. 14-7 Wayne Hills over Ramapo, and the Green Raiders taking advantage of a botched punt attempt, taking over at the 37-yard line of Wayne Hills. Scarpelli for a couple. Chris Scarpelli.
Ramapo keeps using the what we call that staggered eye, where they use that fullback just slightly askew. He's not in the railer eye, and he's almost used like a guard.
Let's look at the first quarter stats, Coach. And
well, the penalties, of course, made some difference, but it was the turnovers that accounted for most of the difference. The time is reasonably the same, but both teams capitalized on the turnovers, and of course, both coaches are going to address that at halftime.
67 yards passing for Chris Olson. See the rushing yards, 13 for Wayne Hills, only 1 for the Green Raiders, and certainly field position until this point had favored Wayne Hills, but Ramapo has changed that with a couple of big plays on special teams.
Well, I don't see that 13-1 being that big of a difference. There, broke the plane. That's a dead ball. Be a 5-yard penalty. 2nd and what, about 4?
Ryan Neal a little over anxious in the tradition of his dad, nose guard Bill Neal, who played for the Giants from 1981 to 83. And Ryan Neal, 6'3", 220 pounds.
Encroachment, defense.
Started to say about the rushing yardage, the 1 in 13 ratio. I don't see there being that much of a disparity, but it does signify great defense in between the tackles of both teams.
So that certainly helps on this drive for Ramapo. It's 2nd and 4 now, the ball at the 30-yard line. Anzano in motion. Scarpelli with a nice hole. Chris Scarpelli for the first down. Scarpelli, a real workhorse.
Of course, they are in field goal territory. You pointed out the proficiency of the
Ricky Krautman.
Place kicker.
There's Mike Miello talking to Nick Mazzadri. Second quarter, want to welcome our audience here on the MSG Tri-State Game of the Week. And on Cablevision, Steve Tober, David Weinberg, Jimmy Cavallo, and our statistician, Bill Bromberg, who is when he's not here doing statistics, he fills in for Norv Turner as the stand-in sideline coach for the Redskins. It's a classic look-alike phone. And a whistle on the play.
I don't know if you've ever heard this, but I thought I heard, Bill, especially you being involved in history, every time the Redskins lose at home, the year of a presidential election,
Dead ball foul.
Republicans win.
Delay a game. Offense.
Now there you saw Mazzadri talking to Mielo a while ago. Apparently took too much time to get back to that huddle, coach, and this costs the Green Raiders. It'll be 1st and 15. The ball now back to the 30-yard line.
And that was what, their third first down up until that point. They don't want to shoot themselves in the foot here.
This thing's starting to happen for Ramapo. 1st and 15. Mazzadri, good protection. Near side, and Zano's got it. Chris Anzano has had good hands with a couple of receptions here already today. 7 yards on the play.
Well, what they're doing is they're taking advantage of the defensive scheme of Wayne Hills. The cornerback is using the sideline as a 13th defender. He knows that he can't run out of bounds and catch the ball. So the receiver, knowing that too, finds himself between the, watch him, he's going to find himself between the sideline and the defender, which is the area that the defense is giving up. You take what they give you.
Mazzadri 5 of 9, 54 yards, a TD and an interception so far. 2nd and 8. Swing pass, Anzano cutting back up the middle and brought down after a couple of yards. Ryan Neal with good reaction there, coming over from his end slot, along with Fisnik Malici, an inside linebacker for Wayne Hills.
Well, what that play is designed to do is to take advantage of an overzealous defensive end. They wait for the defensive end to come upfield, and that creates a throwing lane to that receiver who's in motion coming back to the ball. As soon as he clears a certain point in that passing lane, quarterback unloads.
Well, the ball at the 22-yard line, 3rd and 6 for Ramapo. One of those big 3rd down situations, and a timeout called by the Green Raiders.
It's a big decision to be made here as to play selection.
Well, the Bergen record, Bergen County Group 3, Group 4 rankings with some of the best teams in New Jersey. Talk about Ramapo up there in a group of teams, which also includes Hackensack, and of course Don Bosco Prep, Greg Tolles, dynamic power out of Ramsey this year. St. Joe's, Tony Karsich, the reigning #1 team in New Jersey last year at 6-1. Their only loss to St. Anthony's of Long Island, and Bergen Catholic there in the 5th spot, an uncharacteristic 4-3 mark, but they're very, very young. And talking about St. Joe's' loss to St. Anthony's of Long Island, well, if you look at the MSG Daily News Tri-State Top 10 that Mike Quick and his fellas put together, St. Anthony, you see #1, Hackensack, Don Bosco Prep, Wayne Hills #4, Monsignor Farrell 5, Del Barton 6, Poly Prep 7, Canarsie is 8, Ramapo 9, and Shelton, Connecticut is 10. And Hackensack certainly had a scare last week against Bloomfield. I think Mike Quick and his fellas have done a nice job with St. Anthony in the top spot, especially with that impressive win over St. Joe's early on. And Rick Reichert and company at St. Anthony's Long Island having another great year.
Steve, you're big with stats. Did Ed Norton play for that Canarsie team at any given time?
The honeymooner himself. Sclafani in motion. 3rd down and 6. Mazzadri completing for the first down, or very close to Sclafani out of the backfield, right at the 15-yard line. We'll see where they mark the ball. Could be a big 1st and 10 for the Green Raiders.
That was a great play, too, because, you know, he's a righty quarterback running to his left, and the way the Wayne Hills defense is playing, he doesn't have time to set his feet and get into good throwing position. He had to do it on the run.
So the 5th first down.
Now watch, he's going to run to his left, and that's tough to do. He's got to turn that throwing shoulder all the way around. See how he lifts it up, and a little bit of a lame duck pass, but does the job.
1st and 10 for Ramapo at the 15. Scarpelli with a nice hole off the left side. Scrambles forward for 4 yards. Coming up from the secondary, Bill Monin, the junior safety, to help stop Scarpelli.
Now Ramapo on their first 9 plays only had 9 yards total. In their last 9 plays, just prior to this one, they had 54 yards. You can see they're improving.
Yeah, things are starting to happen around that left side there. Good blocking. Ross Carbone, the left tackle. Taylor Thomas, the left guard, leading the way for Scarpelli. It'll be 2nd and 6. Ball at the 11-yard line. Ramapo fell behind 14-0. They've cut it to 14-7. Looking at tie matters here in the second quarter.
Twins to the right.
Inside handoff and a dead duck up the middle was the little Scarpelli stopped. Fisnick, Malici and company. David Yura, number 55, having a great first half. The left defensive tackle, Yura.
And when Ramapo comes out with those twins to the wide side like that, that safety has to come over with them, and what they're hoping is that the running back can clear to the second level and then get into the open area.
Coach, 8th play of this drive, 4:30 so far on the drive. A classic drive here by Ramapo. Ball at the 11 on 3rd.
There's that tight end seam situation again.
3rd and 6. Mazzadri looking end zone, just out of the reach of Anzano. Great effort by Anzano. Good coverage by Monahan and Monin for Wayne Hills.
But he did use Watson in a crossing pattern, which was intended to disrupt the pass defense. Didn't work. Watch 83 cross the field. See how he's crossing the field trying to suck up the safety. And then, of course, he throws to the wideout instead with a great athletic attempt, stretching out, trying to catch the ball, but NG.
And Ricky Krautman will attempt the field goal. It'll be about a 28-yard attempt. Mazzadri to hold. The ball is down. The kick is up. And it is right through the uprights. 14-10. Ramapo, 3 more points.
Does add a dimension, especially on the high school level, when you can get that field goal and that extra point as an automatic.
Ricky Krautman, his first field goal of the season, had 2 in 1 game last year. Of course, tied this game last year in regulation with a 41-yarder in a game Wayne Hills eventually won 17-14 in overtime on a Mar Hagar field goal. 8 plays, 4:59. That took a lot of time.
Well, we had a couple of timeouts in there too, which may have made it look or feel like it was a bit longer, but they had that 3rd down call. They had to stop the clock to think it over.
Oh, remember the first quarter, it was all Wayne Hills, but Ramapo answering decisively. Monahan out of 7. Monahan. Good coverage this time by Ramapo, and he is stopped at the 17-yard line. So Ramapo with a big momentum in their favor at this point, still trailing 14-10 with 6:54 to go. Remember, Ramapo took the ball at the start of the game. Did not have field position early on, but they've certainly capitalized now.
Now, we mentioned before, Ramapo gave up the 14 points prior to tonight. They'd only given up 12, and Wayne Hills prior to tonight had only given up 8. Now they've given up 10 in this one half.
Olsen to throw, completing on the near side for an 8-yard pickup. Out there was, well, they're going to say incomplete now. Bill Monin on the receiving end. It's a little underthrown, and Chris Olsen will try to answer back.
Well, a high percentage pass. He's trying to get to the sideline. See if we can watch him come back. Yeah, look at the way, the mechanics of Olsen, though. Everything just is right. Apparently, he didn't have possession. Well, from here, we couldn't see why.
Yeah. 2nd and 10, ball to 20. Play action, little swing pass for Altadoka. Overthrowing him was Olsen. And Ramapo doing a nice job with coverage in the flats there, Coach.
Well, again, using that fullback off the waggle action. When you waggle like that and that quarterback does all those circles and moves around, it freezes the linebackers. And, of course, a linebacker is generally responsible for coverage of the fullback, so it may get that fullback sprung into the flats. That time it didn't work.
They love to use Altadoka, the fullback, as a receiver. So far, plays, Ramapo 10 rushing, 12 passing. And Wayne Hill 7 pass, 8 rush. Airing it out for Monahan and knocked away. Good coverage that time. Would have been a very difficult pass to complete. Jeff Miller defending the left cornerback for Ramapo. And just like that, Coach, Wayne Hills
That was just great
has
defense.
been stopped again.
That was just great defense. You know, in zone coverage, you play the ball. In man coverage, you play the man. And that time, he just timed it perfectly. Now, there's that. Watch the way he goes up. Great defensive effort. Great offensive effort. Just two great athletes battling out there.
Monin, who had problems handling on the last punt. Low snap. Good rush. Manzano will let it roll. Takes a good Wayne Hills roll down to the 44-yard line where the Ramapo Green Raiders will take over.
I don't know if you noticed.
6:28 to go.
Excuse me, Steve. The punt formation that time was a little configured a little differently. They put 3 up backs in front of the punter, as opposed to the last couple of times they punted because they're afraid the Ramapo defense, the punt receiving team, is going to come up and block the punt. Mike Mielo.
Ramapo beat Hoboken 21-14 in '97 to snap the Red Wings' 38-game winning streak, one of those great teams that Hoboken had. And Ramapo looking to get back to the Group 3 final again. And perhaps it'll be Wayne Hills down the line. You talk about Wayne Hills, they've been out very quickly the last 2 drives. 54 seconds on one and only 24 on another. And the pass is picked off. Interception. That's Palladino. Excuse me. Pignatello. Rick Pignatello with a pick for Wayne Hills. And just like that, the Patriots causing the turnover with a pick by Pignatello.
Every team practices the tap drill, and here you can see it paying off. It was a nicely thrown pass. From where I sat, it looks like it just went through the receiver, perhaps a little bit too high. Yeah, so he's through the receiver, and there's the tap drill. And Wayne Hill, sitting in a cover 2, had the 2 safeties in that spot, right place, right time. There's the wing around.
A little inside handoff to Pignatello for 4 yards.
That's going to be a crackback, illegal block. That'd be my guess.
You see the indication.
They're saying he held, and that was the kind of a wing around, a couple of handoffs.
Referee Steve Turner with everybody's attention.
Holding, offense. First down.
See if we can't find the culprit. Might be the left defensive tackle. There it is. Look, he's got his left arm around number 65, the defensive end.
Taylor Thomas being held. So it'll be first, call it 18. Wilson with tons of time completing the pass.
Oof, what mechanics. That ball's on a frozen rope.
To Monin. 13 yards on the play.
And then he's got to make his decisions quickly, too, because the Ramapo defense are getting a good push off the defensive line. And they're seeping into the secondary. They're in his face, but I guess that pays off when you're as tall as he is.
Watch this zip on the ball, Coach.
Yeah, on a rope from the ear hole. Look at that, off the front foot. And you got to be able to catch those things, too. It's one thing to throw it. It's another thing to be able to catch it.
2nd and 7, play action. Good blocking by Williams for protection. And there's the completion to Altadoka. Altadoka looking end zone in for the touchdown. Yanel Altadoka, 41 yards on the play. And there you see it, the fullback out of the backfield.
They keep going back to the well. Again, watch the quarterback after the attempted field goal. We're going to come back and watch it. You're going to see the waggle action, the play action, where he fakes the ball in. And of course, that freezes the linebackers who have responsibility for the fullback in the flats, especially the OLB.
Sebastian Marquez on for the extra point. And the ball gets away. Monahan picks it up and is brought down.
Well, even if Ramapo had taken
loss.
that and run it to the end zone, you can't advance a field goal attempt.
So the extra point thwarted. It remains 20-10.
Now here's the fullback out of the I formation again, and unfortunately there's not really much of a wrap. He just tries to take him down, and you can't take down a kid that big by trying to smack his shoulder pads. You got to wrap the arms, put your head to the ball, drive, and lay him down.
And Coach Yanal Altadoka, 6'1", 195-pound senior. He has 14 receptions on the year out of the backfield. A couple here today. His 5th receiving touchdown of the year for Yanal Altadoka. And Wayne Hills takes back command of this game.
Well, Nicky M., the safety on that, playing quarterback on the offensive side of things, probably going to have that tape played for him a few times. 4
plays, 44 yards. Let's send it down to Jimmy C.
Well, boys, how great is it to watch the junior QB Christian Olsen? I mean, this is a lifetime building up to him being the starting quarterback. And you see in the whole package, you saw the touchdown a moment ago, the touch pass. You see the 30-yard laser. You see a kid who can throw any ball on the field. Christian Olsen, the son of the coach, 14 touchdowns coming in. He has now gone over 1,000 yards. Good job by the coverage team, by the way, of Wayne Hills right there on the kickoff. But now Christian Olsen over 1,000 yards on the season, 16 touchdowns now. I'll correct it as I go along. But boy, you have to be impressed with the 6'4" junior. He's going to open the eyes of college football coming into next year. Back upstairs.
Thanks, Jimmy C. Danny Amoroso on coverage, doing a nice job there for Wayne Hills with 5:06 to go here in a entertaining first half, 20-10, and Ramapo will try to answer back once again. They've had a fairly successful run here after falling behind 14-0 to close at the 14-10, but Wayne Hills off 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, and they have the lead 20-10, and nothing going there in the middle. Wayne Hills, that defensive penetration, and what a job they do stopping Scarpelli again, and Fisnik Malici, number 20, 6'2", 212-pound senior backer, very physical player. Another young man like Altadoka who has Albanian descent in his parental line, and interesting ethnic mix here at Wayne Hills.
You know, Scarpelli is going to get his yardage, but if you can shut him down the way Wayne Hills have done right now, you're doing an excellent job. I mean, that's a major cog in the Ramapo wheel of offense.
No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. The pitch to Scarpelli, spinning. And a nice job picking up 3 yards. Going to have 3rd and long. The ball at the 23-yard line. And Wayne Hills.
Not only is Wayne Hills getting a good push, but they're also not going for fakes. They're staying in their running lanes. They're remaining disciplined. All 8 guys are covering all 8 gaps.
Scarpelli, coach, 10 carries, only 13 yards. A young man who came in with 1,069 yards on 148 carries. So far, Wayne Hills has stopped him. Draw, Scarpelli. Gets some running room. Nice job by Scarpelli to recover there and get close to a 1st down. Will probably be about looks maybe a half a yard short.
Good call, too, because Wayne Hills with a 3rd and long, 3rd and 10, sitting in a cover 2, letting him have the underneath. See Scarpelli setting up as if he's blocking. Left elbow up as he should, and he takes off. And nice lateral movement as well, but they close in quickly, that Wayne Hills defense does. And having only given up 8 points before tonight's game, they're tough.
Taylor Thomas, the left guard, with a nice block on that play to help Scarpelli recover. And as I surmised, coach, about a half a yard short. It'll set up a 4th down. So nice job by Scarpelli, but not enough in this instance. And coming on to punt once again will be Mazzadri.
My guess is any other week except this, he goes for the 4th and 1. Not this week.
3:27 to go here in the first half. Mazzadri.
Got some big boys in the up back position. A direct snap to one of them, we might get a 1st down.
Snap by Watson. Good high kick by Mazzadri. Monahan returning.
Clip.
Flags thrown. Monahan brought down around the 47-yard line. We'll see what the call is, if it is the clip.
They're going to tack on 15. The blocker's helmet has to be in front That's the key to whether or not it's a clip or not, or an illegal block, as they'll call it. There it is, the clip.
Great crowd on hand here on a gorgeous night in Wayne Hills for the showdown in NBIL.
And so far, it's lived up to its billing.
Clipping. Offense.
And the crowd, coach, doesn't seem that into it yet. There hasn't been necessarily the explosion from the crowd, which is a great one that's built here, but the action has been in spurts. Maybe that's been part of it.
I don't think the crowd necessarily knows what to make of it. They're not used to seeing offense.
Fumble on the pitch to Williams, and alertly falling on it is Chris Olsen at his 15-yard line. So Wayne Hills dodging a potential bullet there. We're inside 3 minutes to go here in the first half. 20-10 Wayne Hills leading Ramapo. Your Cablevision North Jersey High School game of the week.
It's just a toss sweep. Student body left, but doesn't quite hold on to the handle, Williams. And alertly, Olsen. You see how he didn't jump on top of the ball, but he circled his body around it? Proper technique for recovering a fumble.
Second down and 17.
Lay on top of the ball. Somebody jumps on you, pin your sternum to your spine.
It's a draw to Williams. Ryan Williams dragged down by Pickens and Scarpelli.
Just trying to get a little bit of that long yardage back in a conservative manner.
We saw that time how Pickens runs to the ball. Top linebacker prospect in New Jersey, number 81 for Ramapo. Inside 2 minutes.
Now, one of the tricks in the Wayne Hills offensive repertoire is what we call a quarterback throwback pass. Good opportunity for it.
We'll see if they come up with some gimmickry there. You'll see Olsen, 5 of 11, 121 in the 2 TDs. Under pressure and taken down. Oh, what a nice job. Taylor Thomas coming in the other defensive end. Maybe, Coach, we forget about Taylor Thomas because of Mr. Ryan Watson. But that time, Taylor Thomas, number 65, with the sack.
Well, that time they were looking for the fullback again. Puts it on his hip, and there's the fullback trying to sneak out into the flats. But there you see the white shirt of the linebacker sticking with him. Almost a coverage sack, which gives the defensive lineman a chance to close down.
An important punt for Wayne Hills. Monin standing in his end zone.
Going into tight coverage.
And the deep man for Ramapo standing at the Wayne Hills 40. And the kick is blocked.
Touchdown.
In the end zone, touchdown, Ramapo.
Holy smokes. George Allen is smiling up there.
And Mazzadri, the quarterback and defensive back, the free safety on defense, falls on it for the touchdown.
And Wayne Hills made the adjustment, too, in order to avoid that kind of thing by bringing the wideouts who go down for coverage into the formation, into the box for the extra blocking. I say George Allen because he was the king of the special team coaches in the 60s and 70s.
Well, we've seen a lot of special teams action. Key here tonight. Krautman for the PAT. Mazzadri to hold. And the kick is up. And it's good. 20-17 with 44 seconds left in the first half.
Now that missed field goal before puts it in a very odd position for Wayne Hills. Watch the seepage come through. A lot of white bodies. Good extension. See how he didn't go after the kicker, but he went after the ball. And he didn't try to pick it up. He laid on it. Just great football.
And credit that block to Costanzo. Blake Costanzo with a block of the punt. And Costanzo, who will be the heir apparent tight end for Ryan Watson next year, plays guard on offense, linebacker on defense. And Costanzo got the block, Mazzadri with the recovery. And just like that, the Ramapo Green Raiders are within 3 at 20-17.
And I mentioned also the missed field goal before, which would have made it 21-17, would have forced Ramapo into a touchdown in order to go ahead. Now all they need is a field goal to tie it up.
Matt Monahan on the return. He's got running room near side. Monahan brought down out to the 38-yard line.
He is fun to watch. You never know what's
really
going to
is.
happen.
makes a lot of things happen. Little number 3, Pat Monahan, he's 5'8", 165, but boy, is he some football player.
Well, we've seen guys ourselves, Steve, in the past. Jermaine Pugh out of Del Barton, for example, graduated last.
Great example.
You know, I mean, he's a guy who's
5'3".
short, compact, and just tore the field up. So size in high school football, not always the tail of the tape.
Hurry up offense, trips, draw, Williams. Good tackle. Hey, there's the guy getting to the ball, Mr. Pickens. Johnny Pickens, number 81, wrapping him up.
Ramapo is fired up. They know they can smell it. They can get the ball. Well, it's only 17 seconds, but if I threw a mistake of somehow, they can get the ball back.
Pickens with offers from Duke, Wake Forest, and Northwestern already among the 12.
Now watch Pickens come up and do a nice job. He's going to keep his shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage, close the gap. Look at that, head to the ball, wrap, and down. There's the half.
And that's our last play of the first half. An exciting first half of action here from Wayne Hills. The Patriots, by the slimmest of margins, hold a 20-17 lead. And Coach, talk about momentum. We've had a lot of shifts in it here in the first half. Wayne Hills going on top. Monin with a 30-yard TD reception from Olson with 9:05 left in the first quarter. And then Monahan with an interception to set up the next scoring drive. Olson with a 1-yard sneak. It was 14-0 Wayne Hills. Monahan fumbling on a punt return. Then a 15-yard pass, Mazzadri to Watson with 58 seconds left in the first quarter. It was 14-7, and field goal by Krautman, and the blocked punt after the Altadoka touchdown reception. And hey, we got ourselves a 2017 game. Jimmy Cavallo's down on the field with the coach. Jimmy C.
All right, boys, with the Ramapo skipper, Mike Miello, and coach, first sign of a good team is a team that handles adversity. You guys get down 14-0, come right back, make it 14-10. Then you get down 20-10, might be deflated, come up with a block punt. Your team certainly came to compete tonight.
Big play for us right here. Hopefully that'll give us some momentum going into the second half. But, Jimmy, if we don't block somebody the second half, it's going to be a long half. We got to get our front linemen to commit themselves to do a better job. And if we do that, then this is going to be a ball game.
A couple mistakes have hurt you, turning the ball over, kind of mistakes that you can't have in a game like this?
Exactly. We made a couple of throws that we wish we had back, but Nicky made a couple of pretty good ones there, and we had some great catches on the 1 touchdown drive. So we're going to build on the positives at halftime.
Last thing quickly, you have to be impressed with your team, though, in an environment like this, on the road, not to get down on themselves, to come back and stick a couple in there and go down just 3 at the half.
Well, exactly. Like I said, we're going to build on the positives. We had some mistakes, but we did some good things, and we're going to work from here.
All right, Coach,
Thanks,
and I know
man.
you want to go talk to your team. There's Mike Miello right there, his Green Raiders. Boy, I tell you, a couple times looked like they might have played themselves right out of this ball game, but you see the heart, the fire, the determination that comes with the big dogs in the NBIL. We'll step aside right here on the game of the week. What a whopper we got going for you on a Friday night. 2017, the Patriots lead it. 24 minutes of football to go. Come on back, the game of the week returns right after this.
A very entertaining first half of action here from Wayne Hills, 20-17, and a mistake featured game here, Coach David Weinberg. When you talk about Wayne Hills, 2 touchdowns off of interceptions, 1 off of a short punt. Ramapo, 10 points off turnovers, fumbled punt return, blocked punt for a touchdown, 7 points off the sack of the punter. It's been a 4th down disaster for Wayne Hills.
Yeah, they've got to clean that punting team up quite a bit if they're going to stay in the hunt.
Let's send it down to Jimmy C.
All right, with Chris Olson, head coach of Wayne Hills, kind of an up and down, explosive at times
Very
was your
explosive.
team, but do we give Ramapo credit for firing back like that?
Oh, they answered back when they had to, and we made about 2 or 3 crucial special team mistakes that have kept them in the ball game so far.
But you have to be happy with your team. You guys came out fast,
We're
14-0
winning.
execute.
I'm happy we're winning, yeah.
What was most of the conversation locker room halftime? Adjustments?
Mistakes. No adjustments, nothing that we haven't expected. Stop making mistakes.
All right, Chris, I know I want to get back to you right there. Chris Olson, man, just when you want to coach, right? A couple seconds before the second half's about to be and capture some of that good old-fashioned emotion. Back to you, boys.
Thank you, Jimmy C. As we get set for the 3rd quarter kickoff on your Cablevision North Jersey Game of the Week. And I want to welcome in everybody watching on the MSG Tri-State Game of the Week as well. Wayne Hills will receive the second half kickoff. The Patriots in the home maroon with the gold pants, and Ramapo with a road white with green trim. And after falling behind 14-0, Ramapo battled back to make it 14-10. Wayne Hills went up 20-10, and then a blocked punt by Blake Costanzo, recovered by Nick Mazzadri in the end zone for Ramapo, 20-17.
Well, let's see if Coach Mielo has made the adjustments. He's got to get Scarpelli into the mix here. As he said, we got to go block someone, establish that running game, and get back to that balanced attack so that Wayne Hills can't load up in the box.
Monahan and Pignatello are deep for the kick from Krautman.
Scarpelli with only 21 yards.
Monahan, Pat Monahan with good coverage this time. And Zano along with Pickens on coverage for Ramapo, and Wayne Hills will take over 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. And you see Pat Monahan.
Was Coach Olson fired up or what?
He really is.
He was.
Chris Olson in his 14th year here had previous head coaching assignments at Patterson Eastside and Bergenfield, and still looking for his first state title here. Hoping to get it in 2000.
And that kind of enthusiasm, of course, is infectious. Spreads through his team, and that's why you're 7-0.
Brian Williams, good hole off the left side. Brought down by John Pickens, but not before a pickup of about 5 yards. Brian Williams, who comes into the game, he's just shy of 1,000 yards rushing, averaging 7 yards a carry, 21 rushing touchdowns.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was there.
2nd and 5. Ball to 32. Williams again, and he's met by a hard hit by Chris Scarpelli coming up from the secondary. He's going to set up a 3rd down. Scarpelli, who's an outstanding two-way player, built his strength in the offseason. 25 tackles coming in, 5'9", 175-pound senior. So 3rd and 3. Just underway 3rd quarter. Steve Tober, David Weinberg, Jimmy Cavallo on your MSG Tri-State Game of the Week, brought to you by our North Jersey region of Cablevision. Glad you could be with us. Monahan forward. It's going to be close to the 1st.
Again, Wayne Hills coming out in the twins to the wide side of the field, hoping to bring the strong safety with them. Taking one defensive body out of the defensive scheme for the dive.
Ryan Williams has really started to come on. Played linebacker last year. A.J. Spicer was the starting back last year. Had some injuries, but Brian Williams, is only a junior, has stepped in this year to be a showcase ball carrier for Wayne Hills.
It'll be a 1st down by about half a ball. There you go, a whole ball.
Got it. 1st down for the Patriots. So Wayne Hills just trying to be methodical here in the early juncture of the 3rd quarter. Chris Olson has 2 TD passes here tonight, his 15th and 16th of the season. To Bill Monin and to Yanal Alcadoca at 15 and 41 yards. Olson over his center, Sammy Weinstein on 1st and 10. Williams breaking off a would-be tackle, but Ryan Watson bringing him down for a loss. And number 83, 6'3", 225-pound senior, the Duke-bound defensive end standout, making the stop.
They're fired up, Ramapo.
It's a loss of 2 yards on the play. Williams, 13 carries for only 33 yards, so he's well below his 7-yard per carry average he had coming in. 2nd and 12, ball at the 35.
Both defenses doing a good job of stopping the run as they have all year.
Olson completing to Williams. 1st down and more. Brian Williams into Green Raider territory down to the 43-yard line, a 23-yard pickup. Olson to Williams.
Back out of the backfield. Linebackers have to pick him up. Let's see if we can't see Williams seep through. Nicely thrown pass, wide open, broken coverage underneath the defensive coverage of Ramapo, and the elusive Williams avoids some tackles.
And Williams on 1st down, nothing going there. Ryan Watson having a tremendous game, helping out defensively along with Taylor Thomas. So both defensive ends, and the crowd enjoying the food. They have, what is he pouring into that cup there? That was interesting. What is he eating, granola down there? The fans packed it in here in Wayne Hills. They have a great snack bar here, so I don't know why he's not having the great hot dogs and whatever else they have here. It's wonderful food. Play action. Olsen almost picked and deflected. Intended downfield for Greg Olsen, the tight end, brother to brother, Chris to Greg, but nothing going. We'll set up 3rd down.
You can see why Wayne Hills is such a dangerous team offensively. They have so many components, so many elements. They can do so many things. They run the ball effectively inside. They run the ball effectively outside. Of course, Olsen, the quarterback, doing a nice job at throwing the ball. That's what you call a balanced attack. They're putting Ramapo on their heels. Tough to defend the whole field all the time.
3rd and 10 from the 42. Olsen completing to Olsen. And Greg is brought down at the 38-yard line. It's going to be 4th down and 7.
And that play, of course, comes off of those dives that Williams and the other backs have been having some success with. A little dump pass to the tight end.
Greg Olsen, who came in with 8 catches on the year. 5 touchdowns in his first 8 receptions before that one. 4th down. Monin to punt. They've had lots of problems on the punt play here. 1 dropped and 1 blocked. Gets this one off. On the return, Manzano out to the 17-yard line where Ramapo will take over. 1st and 10 with 8:03 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Ramapo was certainly hurt by the injury to Ryan Pisari, their punt return man deluxe, who had a knee injury earlier in the season. Pisari in one game, coach, had 2 punt returns for a touchdown. They missed Pisari, who was out indefinitely with a knee injury.
There's also something psychologically damaging about a touchdown off of special teams, too. Nothing like having a kid run 60, 70 yards. Kind of breaks your back.
1st and 10. Double wideouts, far side. Scarpelli, this running room up the middle. Chris Scarpelli with a nice pickup of close to 8 yards on the play. Coming up from the secondary to make the stop was Rick Pignatello.
It's key that they get him into the flow of the game. He's got to get his yardage.
Scarpelli, who came in with 1,069 yards and 19 rushing touchdowns. The key to the game, coach, as we've said, stopping Scarpelli. They did it early on, but he's starting to find some running routes now.
Well, of course, it's all decided by the work of the offensive line.
Looking for that 1st down, the quick burst by Mazzadri, the quarterback. It's going to be close. Nick Mazzadri, 6 foot, 175-pound senior, has really been a great leader for Ramapo this year. 32 of 55 for 519 yards passing, 7 touchdowns. Good 3 or 4 weeks he's had from Mike Miello especially.
I think he's going to get this, Steve. I think he's going to have it. Maybe by a half.
The chain gang don't work here.
Bingo, right in the middle of the
Got
ball.
it. It's down for the Green Raiders. And Mazzadri back with another play.
It's their 6th first down.
Mazzadri. Very difficult to follow in the footsteps of a legend in Chris Sims, and Mazzadri has been his own standout performer in his 2 years as a starting signal caller at Ramapo. 1st and 10. Pitch, Scarpelli finds the corner for 4 yards out to the 30-yard line.
Ordinarily, Ramapo would own that corner, but against the Wayne Hills defense, it's a different game.
Trying to run away from Ryan Neal, defend the All-State defensive end. And Ramapo would like to establish that ground attack here. You see Fislik Malici standing inside backer, number 20. 2nd and 7. Ball at the 30. Mizaji with time, airing it out deep, and incomplete, intended for Anzano, who slipped.
As long as the defender is making an honest attempt to get to the ball and he's not running through the offensive player, he's just as entitled to the ball as the receiver. Incidental contact of sorts, although the rule doesn't exist in high school. I guess that's how they look at it.
And Ramapo using up all the possible time in between plays, coach, and going the sidelines for the plays.
Big third down here for Ramapo. They don't want to go 3 and out.
3rd and 7, ball at the 30. Mizaji over the middle, intercepted by Monin at the 47-yard line. The 3rd turnover for Ramapo. The 3rd pick.
You know, and Wayne Hills is really kind of daring him to throw too. They're in a zone coverage, a cover 1. We can't see it here, but there's only one lone safety, and the other 8 are way up in the box, which is something Coach Miele was concerned about, and yet still successfully defending against the pass. A little bit too much lift on it.
Monin with his 2nd interception of the year. It's been Monahan, Pignatello, and now Monin. Here's Williams finding a nice hole off the left side for 6 yards.
Those first 2 interceptions led to touchdowns, and that's, of course, what Ramapo can't afford to do here.
Green Raiders trailing a very narrow margin, 20-17 here with 6:07 to go 3rd quarter. Thanks for tuning in. Mike Miele, 22nd year at Ramapo. Your Cablevision and MSG Tri-State Game of the Week. More than 5,000 packed in the stands here at Wayne Hills. Williams stopped Ryan Watson and company. Steve Sclafani also coming up, and Sclafani, 5'11", 190-pound senior. What a trio of linebackers. Sclafani, number 40 in the middle, surrounded by Pickens and Costanzo. You can't get a better trio of linebackers than Ramapo has.
And of course, that's what you need to see out of your linebackers. You want them with the big stats. The linemen don't get the glory. If they can tie up double teams or make sure that those guards don't get out on the linebackers, it makes those linebackers look all so much better.
3rd and 4, ball at the 40 of Ramapo. Off the interception by Monin. The 3rd pick of the day. Here's Olsen. Olsen looking deep for Monahan. Oh, and a nice catch. Keeping his eye on the ball. Concentration. 29 yards on the reception. 1st and 10, Wayne Hills.
Pat running an out and up on that. Trying to get the cross of the funnel that the cornerback and the safety confuse the pass assignment, then gets great positioning. Watch the positioning. He's going to run an out and then an up. Now, we don't see that part of the play here. Nicely thrown pass, good coverage, lots of red, no white. Now watch the way he positions his body in front of the defender so that he gets the ball into his body instead of the defensive body.
1st and 10. Inside the 10, down to the 8 is Williams for a pickup of 5 yards. Brian Williams starting to find the holes. Good blocking up front. Mike Grenz, the left tackle. David Ura, the left guard. You know, that previous pass completion, and you talk about Yanal Altadoka, who does a great job, number 24, the fullback. He had a great block to keep Ryan Watson away from Chris Olsen for just enough time for him to get off that pass.
Yeah, that's big on big. You get this big bruising fullback against a big, tough defensive end. It's fun to watch.
Called a gain of 2, as it turns out, on the play. Here's Williams up the middle, smelling end zone.
I think he's in.
Touchdown, Wayne Hills. The burst by Williams.
Quick opener off the left A-gap between the guard and the center. David Ura and Sam Weinstein doing a good job there. Those centers, you know, Steve, they're often unsung heroes.
Sure are, being an ex-center at West Essex in my day, enjoying that time, but sometimes overlooked, and Sammy Weinstein's a good one. There's Marquez on for the extra point, and he's good with this one.
You know, when you can take that ball after a turnover and stick it in, that's great. quick burst, legs are driving. Look, both hands leaning forward, getting that body weight where it needs, stretching for the end zone and reaching the ball across because it's the ball that counts.
9-yard run by Williams, 5 plays, 46 yards, took 201, capped by Brian Williams' 22nd rushing touchdown of the year, and 3 interceptions today for Wayne Hills have led to 3 scores for the Patriots.
Yeah, like Coach Mielo said, a couple of times you want those passes back, but at the same time, he's also had a couple of nice completions.
27-17, and Wayne Hills, it's been a game of momentum shifts. Wayne Hills led 14-0. Ramapo closed to 14-10. They went up 20-10, the Patriots did, then 20-17, and now 27-17. Pignatello to kick off. Short kick. Manzano breaks free. Manzano out to the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 with 4 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter.
You know, punt receiving and kickoff receiving teams, I've always encouraged backs to take the ball and run up the field. You don't get anything running laterally. I know he's looking to pick up his blockers, but there didn't seem to be any wall or any attempted return on that. You got to run north and south and get as many yards as you can, and then you start to juke out defenders coming down the field for the tackle.
Special teams have been a huge part of this football game, including a block punt for Ramapo and a touchdown off that block punt that they converted. 1st and 10 the pitch. Manzano around the right side for 6 yards. Good pursuit that time by Fisnik Malici, the inside linebacker, and Jeff Wells, the outside backer.
Chris Scarpelli doing a nice job on his block from the tailback position, kicking out the defender who came up, who was attempting to force the running back inside.
2nd and 4, ball at the 35-yard line.
Keep your eye out for John. Oh.
Manzano with a great block in front of him, and he's out for the 1st down to the 40-yard line. Chris Manzano becoming more of a prime-time player. The junior, 5'11", 175-pound. Wingback flanker combination. Took over for Ryan Passari. He's done a nice job. Passari with a knee injury. And Manzano has been a key component for Ramapo.
What you're seeing is what Jimmy C commented on when he was speaking to Coach Mielo, a Ramapo team that just does not know how to quit. Still trying to put some offense together after giving up the interception and a touchdown. No quitting these kids.
8th 1st down for Ramapo. 1st and 10 from their 40. Inside 3 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Inside hole for Scarpelli. Scarpelli right up the middle, right up the gut behind center Brian Deeney.
Bit of a trap there. A quick opener.
5 yards on the play. Ramapo and Mielo will take that. Another play being brought in by Nick Mazzadri.
I'm guessing they're going to the air on this.
Still plenty of time, Coach, with 2:20 to go 3rd quarter. They do not have to rush things down 27-17. Ball at the 46 of Ramapo. Reverse to Manzano. Manzano finds the running room. Oh, he made something out of nothing. Inside the 40-yard line of Wayne Hills. 18 yards on the play.
Nicely done. Keeping Wayne Hills guessing as to where the ball is. Certainly fooled me, which may not be that hard to do, but they did it.
Blocking out the ends that time was Ramapo. Usually that'll be contained by Wayne Hills. They were able to get Manzano free for an 18-yard pickup into Wayne Hills territory.
Well, what freezes him is the dive that he fakes coming into the line first. Keeps those linebackers from hitting the sidelines, moving laterally.
Ball at the 38-yard line of Wayne Hills. Ramapo on the move. Scarpelli spinning forward.
Another trap again to the other side. Credit those offensive guards.
8 yards on the play. Chris Scarpelli getting it done behind that offensive line. Ross Carbone and Carson Parmalee, the tackles. Taylor Thomas, Blake Constanzo, the guards, and Brian Deeney, the center. Ball at the 32-yard line. Second and short. Play action. Mazzadri.
There's Watson.
Out and get it. It's Watson. Touchdown, Ramapo.
No, sounds self-serving, but trying to avoid interruption that when you were speaking, Steve, this is where Miello consistently goes to the tight end.
33-yard pass. The second TD combination aerial-wise. Mazzadri to Watson. 27-23 with the all-important extra point coming up.
Wayne Hill's begging them to pass, bringing 8 guys up in the box, sitting in a cover 1. No strong safety in that formation. Nobody to match up well with the tight end.
Ricky Krautman, it's almost automatic on these extra points. Mazzadri to hold. Kick is up. It's good. 27-24. We got ourselves a ball game here with 51 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Give Ramapo an enormous amount of credit for coming back from that adversity. That's the way he just sits up, waiting for Watson to clear the coverage. He's a bit bigger than the cornerback who's on the defensive end of things. Goes up nicely, just scampers in.
How about the protection for Mazzadri?
Yeah, you gotta, Ramapo just deserves a huge pat on the back. I mean, they gave up the ball, turns into a touchdown, and here they go march down the field and do a nice job.
6 plays, 70 yards, took only 3:15.
A lot of ball game left.
27-24, and this went a long way from being decided. The battle, the NBIL, and for the top seed in Section 1, Group 3 for the upcoming playoffs. The seedings will be announced on Monday afternoon. Monahan, look at this coverage by Ramapo, and Monahan nowhere to go.
We're going to see a clip again on Wayne Hills.
Brought down inside the 20-yard line at the 18.
You can almost tell sometimes by how the official throws the flag if he thinks it's blatant and glaring.
You see the indication.
It's almost an emotional toss to the ground.
And now the field position game being won by Ramapo.
Flipping. Offense.
And they take that flag and they throw it in disgust on the ground. It's right in front of them and glaring. They're making a statement, those officials.
Sure are. Excellent crew we have on here today. Steve Turner, Pete Amoruso and company.
Ramapo can keep him on this side of the 50 and get the ball back in reasonable field position. They're in the hunt.
First and 10 at the 10-yard line. And clock says 43 seconds left in the third quarter.
I think they were talking about where the ball was spotted.
Wayne Hills, the Patriots. Have only had 8 points scored on them coming in, 24 on them tonight. Quick opener complete to Monin, who dives forward to the 14-yard line, excuse me, the 19-yard line for a 9-yard pickup.
You know, common thinking would be, of course, that Wayne Hills would run their way out of that part of the field, but for the great quarterback like Olsen, they can go for the high percentage pass and those short out patterns using the sidelines the way they did just there.
13 seconds left in the quarter. As the clock continues to roll, we'll see if Wayne Hills can get off one more play. 5, 4, handoff Williams forward for the first down across the 20 to the 22. And that'll do it for the third quarter.
Boy, that bet went by quickly, I think, huh?
The action picking up here at Wayne Hills. The battle of unbeaten. 7-0 versus 7-0. It's 27-24 after 3. Wayne Hills leading Ramapo. The showdown in Wayne. Wayne Hills, the Patriots, the cheerleaders getting into the action here with excess of 5,000 people here for the battle for supremacy in the Northern Bergen Interscholastic League. 7-0 Ramapo, 7-0 Wayne Hills. Glad you could be with us here on Cablevision in the MSG Tri-State Game of the Week. First and 10 from the 25. Williams for 3 yards.
And who would have guessed that these kind of points would show up in this game with the defensive games that these teams have displayed over the first 7 weeks? It all comes down to those turnovers.
Yeah, the turnover is awfully key here today, and Chris Olsen and company trying to hang on. And after three quarters complete, we look at the statistics.
I don't think you're going to see much difference in those numbers. But again, look down at those penalties. 6 penalties for 60 yards, and of course 5 turnovers. Very unusual for teams of this quality.
Chris Olsen trying to add to the 186 yards passing, incomplete.
Of course, his passing stats on that graphic we just saw were superior to Ramapo's.
Olsen, who came in.
There it is, 186 to 95. But, you know, it's the score that really counts in the end, and we're really looking at a 3-0 game.
There's still a ways to go in this game, and Olsen now with over 1,000 yards passing on the year. For the second year in a row.
Excuse me, it was my feeling that before the game that it would be a field goal or an extra point, or the last team to touch the ball would win the game.
3rd and 8, play action. And in on the sack is Brian Deeney. The left defensive tackle, 5'11", 220-pound senior with a sack, his 3rd of the season. And Wayne Hill's out to punt the football away, and it's been an adventure in the punting team here tonight.
Wayne Hill's giving up 20 yards to sacks this evening. Now they want to get this away cleanly because they've had some trouble with this.
Monin gets it off, a low kick and a fumble on the return by Anzano, but he maintains his composure and recovers with great field position for Ramapo at the 46-yard line of Wayne Hills. And
everybody held their breath on that for about 1/10 of a second.
And coach, the field position game here in control by the Green Raiders. They're down by 3 with 10:37 to go. They have excellent field position here just outside the 46-yard line of Wayne Hills.
Well, they certainly don't need to panic or rush things along with 10:37 left. They're in good position field-wise. They have to put something together.
Ramapo has won 36 of its last 40 games. In fact, 5 losses in the last 5 years. 2 to Wayne Hills, 3 to Hoboken. The pitch to Scarpelli. Scarpelli with a big hole up the left side. Picks up 5 yards. And the hole starting to open up. Ross Carbone, Taylor Thomas supplying some blocks on the left side of the line for the Green Raiders. Scarpelli now 16 carries for 51 yards. Wayne Hills and Ramapo each 7-0 entering this game for the last 5 years. The showdown, as the Bergen Record headline had this morning, and it has been such. It's been living up to its billing with a lot of thrilling action so far. Pickens in as a receiver. The pitch to Scarpelli. Scarpelli forward for 4 yards. It's going to set up a 3rd and 1.
This is another tight end situation here. They're on the hash mark.
Well, 3rd and 2, coach, where they place the ball. So a big 3rd and 2 here at the 37-yard line of Wayne Hills. What do you do here?
Well, if he stays true to form, he's either going to try to hit the corner with Scarpelli to the wide side of the field, or he's going to play action and dump it to Watson.
Well, they've had success with Scarpelli here in the second half. We'll see if they go to their bread and butter. 3rd and 2, huge 3rd down. It's Scarpelli. Scarpelli forward, appears to have the 1st down. It's going to depend where they place the ball.
You know, when you look back on a game, you can usually count 5 plays that determine the outcome. That might have been one of them right there. We won't know, of course, till the game is over, but that was a big call.
There's a 1st down, as indicated by referee Steve Turner.
They were out of field goal range.
10th 1st down for Ramapo with 9:03 remaining in regulation. 27-24 Wayne Hills. Glad you could be with us here on the Cablevision North Jersey Game of the Week and on the MSG Tri-State Game of the Week. Steve Tober, David Weinberg, Jimmy Cavallo, and Mike Mielo is into it. 1st and 10 at the 35. Scarpelli, and that time David Yura, number 55, has had a strong game at defensive tackle. In on the stop.
Looking for the trap again, Ramapo was. Not getting much success in that play.
Maybe a half a yard. David Yura, 6'1", 215, a baseball pitcher, a finesse player, quick, over 30 tackles on the season, 6 for a loss, 4 sacks, solid senior lineman for Chris Olson's Wayne Hills Patriots. 2nd and 10 from the 35. Play action and sacking Mazzadri is Yanel Altadoka.
First sack for Wayne Hills this evening, but a big one.
Well, I mentioned in the first half how Chris Olson calls Yanel Altadoka pound for pound his best football player. We've seen indications of that tonight with his play on both sides of the football.
Yeah, that was an emphatic tackle as well. Watch him come off the top of your screen. The defensive end takes the tackle out, and he comes right up the gut, untouched. Just a little bit of an X move between the linebacker and the defensive end in order to create a stunt move for the Wayne Hills defense.
And a timeout in this huge 3rd down situation. 3rd, about 17. We look at these two teams so far this season, and the Ramapo Green Raiders, 7-0 on the year. Look at these rolling victories outside of a narrow triumph over a very pesky Fairlawn team, 13-6. It's been domination by Ramapo. Looking ahead, perhaps, well, I would think for sure for a first-round playoff game, because the winner of this game will get the top seed. The loser will get the 2nd seed in Section 1, Group 3. Here's Wayne Hills, and they have been dominant to say the least. Look at that, 65-0 over Bergenfield in Week 5. Only a safety to Indian Hills in the TD to Fairlawn. That coming in the 4th quarter. Their only blemish, outscoring opponents 353-8 coming in. But of course tonight, Ramapo has 24 points, thanks in part to great special teams play. All right, here's a big 3rd and 17. The ball at the 43-yard line of Wayne Hills. Pickens in motion. Mazzadri with a long count.
They're sending everybody.
Yora has him under pressure. He gets it off. Sclafani with the catch. But it's going to be set up a 4th and 11 with a pickup of 6 yards on the play.
Is that the quarterback, Chris Olson, with the shoestring tackle?
Let's send it down to Jimmy C.
All right, guys, you know, isn't it refreshing in a game like this, a game that brings all the hype, all the newspapers talking about it, over 15 reporters here at the game tonight, Cablevision, MSG, live up to the billing, 3-point game in the 4th quarter. One of the biggest rivalries in New Jersey, they call it. Just what does make a rivalry? You could talk about proximity. These schools are only 7 miles apart. I mean, their mothers probably shop in the same supermarket. You talk about a team, when you know you have a rival, when you look at your schedule and the name of the other school just looks bigger than all the other names. You know you have a rivalry when you talk about the other team's best player and you say to yourself, he's a little bit overrated. You know, I even think the rivalry comes down to the cheerleaders. They don't think the other cheerleaders are as good, but there are so many components that make up a great rivalry. We see them all around the tri-state area, whether it's Connecticut, the PSAL in New York, or New Jersey. High school football is made up of great rivalries, and this one, Mike Miele tells me, is also made up of respect. These two programs respect one another, carries over to great play on the field. That's what we're seeing tonight. Back upstairs.
Well, a delay of game, and Ramapo setting up for punt positioning and getting it off barely is Mazzadri looking for the corner. Goes out of bounds on the far side with a great rush.
That was an error that they're going to really kick themselves over.
It really was.
That delay of game is a mental error. Those are the kind of errors, as I've mentioned in previous broadcasts, you got to eliminate. Those are errors that occur before the ball's even snapped.
Well, Coach, the defense has to rise to the occasion here. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Wayne Hills at their 22-yard line with 6:21 to go in regulation. 27-24, and remember, for Ramapo, you get the ball back. You have the field goal kicker, Rick Krautman, so you don't have to get a touchdown to send this game to OT.
Well, they got to get the ball back first, and the well-balanced attack of Wayne Hills is going to be struggling to try to keep from going 3 and out.
Ryan Williams with a nice haul on 1st down. It's up to the 25-yard line for a 3-yard pickup.
Little counter tray move, 2 linemen getting up and moving down the line of scrimmage, coming up field on the other side of the center.
Both Teams at the line of scrimmage doing a nice job defensively. That time, Jim Ishkanian, we haven't mentioned him much, a 5'10", 230-pound sophomore, making the tackle. Williams, 21 carries, 61 yards, only 2.9 per carry, far below his 7.1 per game average. 2nd and 7, ball to 25. Olsen overthrowing Monin on the near side. Set up a 3rd and 7. And most importantly, stops the clock, coach. 5:41 to go, and Ramapo right now holding court if they can stop Wayne Hills here on 3rd and 7.
If they can force him the punt here, first of all, they have the opportunity to block the punt. Wayne Hills can also make a mistake, as they have a few times earlier. They can get the ball back around their own 30-yard line.
You'll see Olsen, 9 of 18, 186, 2 scores. Olsen with plenty of time. Wearing it out, and Monahan. What a nice catch.
Holy cow, what kind of athleticism was that? He was covered like a blanket.
And for the first down, what a big first down that is. Pat Monahan, who had a gorgeous catch in the first half to set up their 2nd touchdown, that time with his 9th reception of the season.
And the bad part of that also is the defender was Jeff Miller, who's being helped off the field. What a great throw on a rope, but watch the reception. Going up vertically, back of the ball, bringing it down. Of course, there's Miller being landed on.
Not much you can do there as a defender with a receiver like Monahan, his 3rd catch of the day. Looks like he's cramping up there. 1st and 10.
Counter trade to the other side.
Williams scooting for 3 yards. 2nd and 7, the ball at the 38-yard line, and clock moving, approaching 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter as we see Monahan trying to get stretched out. Chris Olsen coming in with the next play. 2nd and 7, 4th quarter, 27-24. It's been built up to be not a smooth, consistent game, but a lot of spurts of great action. Altadoka brought down by Sclafani after a 2-yard pickup. He's going to set up a 3rd down with the clock still moving with 4:30 remaining.
Clock becoming a factor now. Ramapo's got to force a fumble, cause a mistake. They certainly don't want to give up a 1st down here.
Look at that moon on a gorgeous early November night in northern New Jersey. Crowd in excess of 5,000 for the game of the year in North Jersey in terms of the regular season.
And right now, this could be the biggest play of the game.
3rd and 5. Olsen with time, throwing near side, completing it for another 1st down. This one to Bill Monin.
High percentage passes, slowly but surely. He's just building up his stats. He's got to be over 200 yards now, but there haven't been too many bombs.
2 for 2 and 3rd down conversions on this drive with 3:58 to go, and Wayne Hill's doing its job with the passing attack. And here we see Chris Olsen again to Monin.
And great protection by the offensive line. Comeback pass, up and out. The defender doing everything to keep the receiver in front of him, but the ball stays in Wayne Hill's hands, and that's not good for Ramapo.
Ball now in Ramapo territory at the 49 of the Green Raiders. Brian Williams picking up 3 yards on 1st down, bringing his lineman with him. But most importantly, keeping that clock moving. 3:38 remaining in the 4th quarter, and a 27-24 lead for Wayne Hills. And I'll tell you, I haven't seen too many better quarterbacks this year than number 11, Chris Olsen, 6'4", 208-pound junior, and he is a good one. And this drive eating up clock. It started with 6:21 remaining. It's now down to 3:18, and still the clock continues to move, Coach. Ramapo has to be concerned. 2nd and 6 at the 46. Ryan Williams fighting off tackles, going forward. He's going to be at a yard short of a 1st down as he's finally dragged down by John Pickens.
And Ramapo might want to start using some of these timeouts too. You know, in the running game, that's the benefit of having a really well-balanced attack. You know, there's a threat of pass. There's always the success of the run that Wayne Hills has established with Williams and their fullback.
Wayne Hill's trying to make it 3 for 3 on third down conversions here in this drive with 2.5 left in regulation.
I don't think you can even see a handoff here. I think you're going to see the quarterback Olsen go straight ahead.
3rd and 1, ball at the 40. Williams gets it, and he's got, it would appear.
Now the clock will stop momentarily in order to move the chains.
Well, we'll see where they place the football. Well, it looks like it's close enough. And referee Stevie Turner will bring in the chains for this one.
I think he has it. Not going to tell you by a half a ball again because that'll be too much, but maybe a third.
Chain gang comes in. 2:16 on the clock. Well, this is the most crucial measurement of the day in terms of trying to keep this drive from a Wayne Hills perspective going. And he's got it. So Wayne Hills has some fresh downs here, Coach, with 2:16 to go. The ball at the 39 of Ramapo.
They're about to snap the ball on their 10th play. They've gone 3 for 3 on third downs. They started this last first down drive with only 4:05 left. They ball control. They're in the driver's seat right now.
Can't do better than that. 3 for 3 on third down conversions, approaching 2 minutes. Altadoka, the fullback, forward for a couple.
Wayne Hills wants to keep 2 hands on the ball. They don't want to have that ball stripped out of it and turn it over for the wrong reasons. Not that there's ever a right reason for a turnover.
And that trio of linebackers, Pickens, Sclafani, and Costanzo, all in on the tackle for Ramapo. 2nd and 8.
Ramapo using one of those timeouts now.
So they have to do it, Coach, with 1:49 to go. This is the longest drive in terms of play and time of the game. This is what you want to do in terms of having the lead and eating up clock. 1:49 to go. Wayne Hills looking to improve to 8-0 and nail down that top seed in Section 1 Group 3. Ramapo would be the 2nd seed if they would fall. Funny things can happen in the closing minutes of games, and we've seen a blocked punt tonight. We've seen a couple of botched punt situations.
Now this is their 2nd time out of the half.
Ramapo has 1 timeout
remaining. 1 timeout left.
With 1:49 to go. Let's send it down to Jimmy C.
All right, boys, as you look at Mike Miello, you know if the Green Raiders come up on the short end of this game right here, the master motivator, Mike Miello, he will take from this game if they do meet in the state final, and he will say, look, boys, we went into their place because that state final very well could be on a neutral site. He'll say, we hung with them the whole way. We competed. Now it's going to be our time. This was no blowout by any means, a close game. And if these two teams meet on a neutral site in the first week in December, as we see Ramapo, did they come up with it? Well, boy, that one is going to be up for grabs. No distinct pattern in this game that one of these teams is any better than the other one, and that's something that Miello and the Green Raiders will take away. Sure, they're going to be disappointed that they came in here and did not come away with their win, their perfect season down the drain, but they will go into that game. Of course, if they run the table into the playoffs and get there to that state final, they'll look back on this one and say, we were right in it, had a chance to win. Let's go after them again. Back to you guys.
Well, I'll tell you, I could feel that hit by Brian Deeney, number 70.
It used up a lot of clock. It used up a lot of clock. It also forced Ramapo into another timeout, which means when they do get the ball, if they should get the ball, they're not going to have any timeouts left. They're going to have to go into a hurry-up offense, and it's awfully deep to go, hard to go 60 yards or so.
But remember, they still have the field goal kicker, Krautman. If they can get any, say, inside the 30-yard line, they have a shot at going for 3. He has kicked over 40 yards, but they got to get the ball back first.
Absolutely.
They've already, Wayne Hill's 3 for 3 in third down conversions on this drive.
Jimmy C's already got him on the bus.
1:43 to go. And the band plays on. Look at that, timeouts. Ramapo done. Wayne Hills with 3, all 3 remaining.
Talk about blowing your own horn there. They haven't won the game yet.
3rd and 10, ball at the 40. See what Chris Olsen does here. I'll keep it on the ground to Williams. Playing a conservative, using up clock.
Tick-tock.
3 yards forward. Clock continues to roll here. Remember, they're out of timeouts, the Green Raiders are. 90 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. 27-24 Wayne Hills. And you know they'll let this clock roll down as much as possible here. 4th and 8. Ball at the 37-yard line.
5 minutes worth of drive.
Wayne Hills will melt this play clock as far down as they possibly can.
It's the 12th play of this drive. This is a wonderful offensive series by Wayne Hills, putting a lot of pressure on the Ramapo defense.
And they've eaten up more than 5 minutes of clock. We're inside a minute. And there's the penalty for delay of game against Wayne Hills. They'll take it with 56 seconds remaining.
Well, they'll probably run the ball.
Delay game. Offense.
They're going to probably run the ball into the middle of the line again. Take their time getting off out of the pile.
Remember, there's been one blocked punt here already tonight, recovered in the end zone by Ramapo for a touchdown. So Wayne Hills has got to be careful here on fourth, and the ball at the 43-yard line, 4th and 13, and 56 seconds left.
I'm not confident that they are going to punt out of here.
You got to think that maybe they wouldn't. I mean, your defense, you have to feel confident a defense as strong as theirs can hold. You don't want to take a chance.
Plus, you got a premier quarterback, some decent receivers. I mean, it can go any which way.
Well, you can eat up another 15 seconds or so with a running play.
Maybe we're going to see that halfback throwback pass again that I talked about in the first half. He could also
run back and take a safety. As crazy as it sounds.
Yeah, I don't see it, though.
That would be really adventurous.
I don't see it.
One of our cohorts here, like Bill Bromberg, I can credit him with that suggestion.
We only credit him with the better suggestions.
This has been
the ones we've been stealing from him all night we're not going to talk about.
Our statistician Bill Bromberg, the Norv Turner lookalike, with that possibility brought up. But I think Wayne Hills here lining up in punt formation.
Bill was about 10 for 10 up to about that point.
Let's see what Chris Olsen has up his sleeve here. With 56 seconds to go, Monin in punt formation. Remember, he's had one blocked. He fumbled one, which he recovered to set up another Ramapo drive. The snap is good. Tight formation, gets it off the short kick. And it'll be Ramapo with great field position as the ball goes out of bounds around the 33-yard line. So not much forward progress, about 4 or 5 yards in the punt, but took 6 seconds off the clock. They might have been better off running the play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But at the same time, Ramapo now has to go about 45, 50 yards before they can even consider the field goal, and they have to do it in 50 seconds.
Well, Monin was so concerned about just getting that punt off, which he was able to do. So 1st and 10. Here we got 50 seconds left. Ball at the 33. Mazzadri trying to make miracles happen for Ramapo. Mazzadri airing out and overthrowing the intended receiver out of bounds. Jeff Miller stops the clock with 45 seconds remaining.
Well, that's actually something good. If he's not going to catch the ball, at least it stops the clock. And they are going to work the sidelines because they want the receiver to step out of bounds.
Mazzadri with pretty good numbers, 9 of 17 for 101 and 2 TDs. Has thrown 3 interceptions.
Yeah, the INTs, of course, that killed them. They all turned into touchdowns.
45 seconds remaining. Oh, what a game it's been.
This is what it should be. This is what it's all about. This is what we came here for.
The showdown in Wayne.
Now the crowd's into it.
Mazzadri under pressure here. Near side, and nobody within 5 yards of that ball. 3rd down.
38 seconds left in the game. 3 points separate victory and loss.
Wayne Hills trying to make it 3 in a row over Ramapo. They won last year 17-14 in overtime. 21-9 the year before that. In 97, it was 56-21 with Chris Sims and company from Ramapo emerging victorious. Nick Mazzadri getting another play from Mike Mielo. He's got a couple plays left. He's got to get a first here to keep this drive going, or we'll see if he goes for the medium range pass here with 38 seconds left. Ball.
Got to get the first down before you get the touchdown.
Ball at the 34-yard line. A little short screen to
I don't understand that call.
Maybe 3 yards. And the clock continues to roll. 28 seconds.
I don't understand that call, Steve, because all that does is bring the ball back into the field.
4th and 8.
Not much positive yardage.
Ball at the 36-yard line. Clock continues to roll. 16, 15, 14, 4th and 8. Mazzadri, last chance, airing it out. Intercepted. The 4th interception of the day out down the sideline and brought down inside the 10-yard line. Coming off with the interception was David Adamo.
The last team to touch the ball will win.
Fourth
There it
interception.
is.
David Adamo, the sophomore, with the fourth pick of the day, and that will nail it in. The proverbial nail in the coffin. Wayne Hills 2 seconds away from a 27-24 victory. The Patriots looking for their third straight victory over Ramapo to improve to 8-0 on the season.
Well,
And it's been the defense.
Far be it from me to question Coach Mielo, but I just don't understand that pass over the middle where the ball's brought back into the field of play for a 3-yard gain.
There's Adamo all alone there. 3 defenders, and that'll do it. Celebration time for Chris Olson and the Wayne Hills Patriots. They are victorious in the showdown here tonight. The NBIL mega matchup of the year. And Wayne Hills has come away with another victory over Ramapo. Brian Williams getting it done at crunch time on the ground and eating up clock for Wayne Hills. 27 carries for 76 yards, but Chris Olson, impressive. The quarterback, the junior, Chris, 11 of 20, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns. And remember those 4 interceptions by Wayne Hills. 3 of them leading to scores, 1 of them nailing the coffin shut. Another victory for Wayne Hills, 27-24. It's been a great one. Stay tuned, we'll be back with our post-game report right after this. There was a crowd of 6,000 people here at Wayne Hills tonight to see the showdown, the mega matchup we've all been waiting for in North Jersey, and the Wayne Hills Patriots coming away with a 27-24 victory, improving to 8-0 on the season. Ramapo falls to 7-1, and Chris Olson Jr., the junior quarterback, really doing a nice job. 11 of 20, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns. Great effort. 4 interceptions by Wayne Hills as well. Well, stay with us on our post-game report. We'll have some of the victorious Patriots when we return. (27-24) Wayne Hills over Ramapo. 8-0 now Wayne Hills. 7-1 Ramapo. Likely the 1 and 2 seeds in Section 1 Group 3 in the NBIL Division 1 Championship. Now headed in the way of the Wayne Hills Patriots. Our Jimmy Cavallo has some of the post-game celebrants down on the field. Jimmy C.
All right, boys, the Patriots are conference champs in the year 2000. Their QB, the junior prime-timer Christian Olson, is here to talk about a couple of his teammates. And, whoo, man, I tell you, man, when they draw up big games and all the hype and newspaper articles, you probably would have hoped it wouldn't have been as close, but that was a war.
Definitely, you know, Ramapo, you know, they're by far the best team we're going to play all year. We're probably, I'm not going to say definitely, but probably we're going to end up playing them in the state finals. I mean, I don't know if there's 5 better teams than us 2 in the state. You know, they're great, we're great. Just a great game to come out and watch.
You know, I heard your dad, Coach Olson, say it a moment ago, a team faces adversity and comes out swinging like you guys did. You guys go up 14-0, they come right back 14-10. At some point, you take another 10-point lead, they cut it back to 7. I mean, but you guys also had to respond in the clutch, and you did.
Definitely, I mean, we were up 14-0, they come back, make it 14-10, you know, and then our line, offensively, when I was in the huddle, they're like, run behind me, they're going to drive the ball, so I knew once our line said that we were going to win this game.
Hey, Christian, is it almost a little refreshing for you? I mean, some of your scores have been kind of lopsided this year. To get into a game like this, have to make big throws. I mean, 6:20 to go in the ball game. You guys take over. Couple 3rd and longs. You threw a couple out patterns for first downs. Those are the big throws that make a primetime QB what he is.
Definitely. I mean, you know, we're kind of getting sick, you know, some of the blowouts. We want to play teams like this. We want to play all 4 quarters. And, you know, we played all 4 quarters. We played all of them hard, and we came out on top.
All right, good to see you. Chris, let's bring in another one of the impact guys. Come on in here, Pat Monahan. And Pat, man, I tell you, all over the field tonight. I could appreciate your effort, made some big catches. One of the third downs a moment ago I spoke to Christian about, 3rd and long. You guys turn it over with 5:28, doesn't know what happens. You came up with the big catch, came up with another big catch to set up a touchdown. You were into it tonight, Pat.
Yeah, well, you know, everyone thought this was going to be a defensive game, but it turned out that the offense has really turned it on. And I mean, 27-24, who would have thought that? And you know, 3rd down, we knew it was a big down. We knew it, you know, it could have meant the game. So, you know, Christian just put it where it was supposed to be, and I just went up and got it.
You know, you're a senior, you're a captain, and, you know, you've seen this team come up a little short in the state finals. The playoffs are upon us now. The sky's the limit for this team right now. Do you feel that? Do you feel some of the energy towards, you know, getting towards that first state title as a Patriot?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, this summer we looked at ourselves and we knew that we had to make some adjustments. We knew that obviously we weren't doing something wasn't right. Something was missing if, you know, we're really just not getting that extra step. So we turned it on the off season, and, you know, that extra effort that we put on then is really showing right now.
Good to see you, Patty. Great effort tonight, man. Congratulations. Let's bring in one more guy, one of the impact guys, Ryan Neal. Come on in here and Ryan, you're going to sleep good tonight, man. Yep. I mean, you face as many double teams as you see some of the big boys, the Bruce Smiths and everybody in the NFL. You knew, you know, the team's defense against Ryan Neal now, so it's going to be a war. Maybe it opens up some lanes for some other guys. But you were battling, put a lot of pressure on Mazadra there in that final series to shut him down.
Every play I keep my motor going. The rest of our defense comes up strong. I mean, if they put 2 guys on me, somebody else is there making a play every time, and we're too good just to put 2 guys on me and not worry about the rest of the guys.
I'll pose the same question I posed to Christian a moment ago. You guys have been on the good end of some lopsided scores from a defensive standpoint. To be in there today and to be in a 3-point ball game, 4th quarter, did it almost feel good to you? I mean, I know your nerves were probably getting to you. You were in a tight game, but did it feel like, man, this is a game?
It felt great to have a good game, you know. I was saying, like, we were up at the beginning, but, you know, that's kind of what we wanted, to have a good game. I mean, having a blowout over them is great, but winning a tight game is what really makes it count, you know.
All right. The month of November's here. The playoffs lie straight ahead. You're a senior, mission at hand. Close it out, win it all. First time for the Patriots?
Yep, that's our plan. We want to go 12-0. I mean, that's kind of our motto this year, 12-0. Everything we do is in 12s.
All right, came in with 13 sacks, a spectacular year for Ryan Neal. And the Patriots will roll on with a big-time head of steam into the playoffs. Boys, it was outstanding. We'll take a quick break right here on the Cablevision Game of the Week. I know Steve's not upstairs. He's standing right here. Steve and David will close it out right after this. There's your final score, Patriots by 3. You're watching high school football right here on Cablevision Sports.
Final score once again, 27-24, Wayne Hills over Ramapo. The Patriots are undefeated at 8-0 and Ramapo at 7-1. Steve Tober with the coach David Weinberg. And coach, kind of a strange game with the spurts of energy, the special teams play, certainly paramount. 4 interceptions by Wayne Hills, but Wayne Hills doing a great job defensively, shutting down Chris Scarpelli for much of the contest.
Yeah, Scarpelli kept to 56 yards, which is very uncharacteristic. And of course, the key to the success of the game, in my view, is the 5-minute drive that Wayne Hills managed to put together in the closing part of the game with ball control. 3-point difference, kind of like what we predicted, although we thought it was going to come more from a defensive struggle.
The punting game was a bit of an adventure for Wayne Hills, but they made it happen at crunch time, and the defensive secondary with those picks, awfully key, especially with 3 of them leading to touchdowns.
Yeah, you can't have those kind of turnovers, and I know both coaches are going to be very proud of their teams. This was a hard-fought game, and everyone should walk away with their heads high.
More than 6,000 people here tonight. 27-24, Wayne Hills defeating Ramapo. Tune into Sports Scene on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock to find out what playoff game we'll be doing next week. For Jimmy Cavallo, for statistician Bill Bromberg, director Lamont Richardson, and David Weinberg, I'm Steve Tober saying good night, everybody, and thanks for watching on the Cablevision Game of the Week.